Hi, this is Arthur, and this is a summary and explanation of the story of the Trailblaze mission Farewell Penacony, released in the game Honkai Star Rail version 2.3. The Trailblazer wakes up from Enna's dream in her hotel room. March 7th is there and tells her the Stellaron was sealed and the ordinary people in Penacony are unaware of what happened. The Astral Express crew has been invited to the Radiant Feldspar, a luxury airship in the dreamscape. They then head off to Dream Jolt Hostelry to meet with the rest of the Astral Express crew. We move to a scene of Firefly talking to Silverwolf before moving to Topaz's perspective. Topaz is on the Radiant Feldspar to negotiate on behalf of the IPC with the family. As she walks around, Topaz notices all of Sparkle's buttons were confiscated by the family. Topaz soon sees Jade, who will also attend the negotiations. Side note, the IPC is a powerful organization that follows the path of preservation and wants to acquire Penacony. Jade, Topaz, Venturine, and their leader Diamond are part of the 10 Stonehearts of the IPC's Strategic Investment Department. Each of the 10 Stonehearts possess a cornerstone that provides each Stoneheart with unique abilities. They soon meet with Odie Alfalfa, head of the Alfalfa family and representative of the family. Odie says he requested this meeting to try and dissuade the IPC from pursuing Penacony. Topaz counters the IPC will not ignore what happened to Venturine and the turbulence of the Charmony festival. Odie then says he will take Penacony public to counter IPC aggression. In other words, Penacony will bypass the IPC and sell shares to anyone in the universe, thus potentially making trillions of people across the universe partial owners of Penacony. Side note, going public is something businesses do in real life. For example, a person starts a business or a company. This person owns 100% of that company. This person can then sell shares of ownership of that company to the public for money. These shares can then be traded on public exchanges, generally known as stock markets. This is often referred to as turning a privately owned company into a publicly traded and owned company, or going public. As for what these new shareholders get, they basically get votes proportional to the number of shares they own. Votes are regularly taken when a company needs to make big decisions, like choosing who sits on their board of directors. A company's board of directors generally decide the direction of the whole company. In regards to Odie's proposal, if the IPC takes action against Penacony, the potential trillions of new shareholders will scrutinize every action taken by the IPC. Jade then suggests they take a recess to digest Odie's proposal and they end the meeting. We move to the Trailblazers' perspective at Dream Jolt Hostelry. The Astral Express crew is all here except for Himiko, who is negotiating with the family. It seems the family wants the Astral Express crew to mediate the negotiations with the IPC. They now talk a bit about the aftermath of their battle with Sunday. After Enna's dream ended, the family branch from the Montour system arrived and took control of the situation. Most members of the Oak family fell unconscious and Gopher Wood, the previous Dream Master, died. Sunday is still alive and will stand trial for his actions. They chat some more before getting a message from Himiko to head to the Radiant Feldspar. We move to Topaz and Jade talking. As explained in past Trailblaze missions, one of Aventurine's goals was to sneak Jade's cornerstone into the dreamscape. By doing so, it's given Jade the ability to see all desires flowing through the dreamscape and use that knowledge in the negotiations. Jade tells Topaz to greet their guest while Jade will meet with Odie alone. Topaz leaves and Jade sees Robin. They chat a bit before Jade meets with Odie. Once there, Jade tells Odie any attempt to go public will be curtailed by the IPC. The IPC will publicly smear Penacony until its shares become worthless. Instead of going public, Jade proposes selling 30% of Penacony to the IPC. With the IPC's financial support, that should stabilize Penacony and help it rebuild. Working together, they can increase the family and the IPC's influence as well as the influence of their respective Aeons. Jade then calls in Topaz, who brings in Himiko. Jade says after purchasing 30% of shares, the IPC will transfer 5% from its 30% to the Astral Express and recommend Himiko sit on the board of directors. Himiko says the Astral Express crew will assist in Penacony's reconstruction and wants Penacony to continue following the path of harmony. All parties are now in agreement and the meeting ends. Jade then speaks with Topaz privately. Jade tells Topaz to handle the rest of the negotiations as she will indulge herself and open a Penacony branch of her pawn shop, Bona Jade Exchange. We move to Firefly's perspective where she sneaks onto the Radiant Feldspar. Firefly sees the Trailblazer on the ship but avoids her. Firefly heads to Jade's pawn shop and meets Jade. Firefly asks Jade for a way to cure her entropy loss syndrome. Jade says that Firefly has nothing to offer in return. Jade's pawn shop only grants wishes in exchange for valuable things that are almost abstract. Past customers have given up things like the ability to form relationships or a huge chunk of their memories. Jade then calls Firefly AR-26710, a remnant of Glamoth's Iron Cavalry. Side note, Glamoth is a fallen interplanetary nation. Turns out Firefly is a manufactured warrior from Glamoth, and her entropy loss syndrome is a failsafe to prevent her from falling into the wrong hands. With the firmament front of Glamoth gone, there is no one left who knows how to cure entropy loss syndrome. Though Jade won't help her, she does make a personal offer to meet with the other members of the Stellaron Hunters. We move to the Trailblazer's perspective, where the Charmony Festival is about to begin. The Trailblazer bumps into Aventurine and Boothill. Boothill is looking for the IPC head of marketing development, Oswaldo Schneider, and Aventurine is helping. It seems there is conflict between the IPC's Strategic Investment Department and its Marketing Development Department. The Trailblazer then chats a bit with Dr. Ratio, Topaz, Jade, and Argenti before finding Firefly. Firefly says she came to Penacony to try and find a cure for her entropy loss syndrome, but failed. Firefly also apologizes for the deception when they first met. Just then, some members of the Bloodhound family recognize Firefly, so she runs off. Robin arrives and the Charmony Festival begins. Robin gives a speech thanking the Astral Express crew and giving them the Radiant Feldspar. Just then, Sparkle tells the Trailblazer she put a bomb on the ship along with hundreds of decoys. The Trailblazer calls all her allies and they scour the ship looking for the bomb. Firefly and the Trailblazer eventually find the bomb. Dying in the dreamscape used to be harmless. With the fall of order, it is now unclear what will happen when people die in the dreamscape. If the bomb blows, people who die might actually die in real life. Firefly says Elio foresaw 3 deaths for her on Penacony and suspects this will be her 3rd. Side note, Elio is the leader of the Stellaron Hunters and possesses the ability to see the future. Firefly is part of the Stellaron Hunters. Firefly cannot dream and uses a special method to enter the dreamscape. Using that method, Firefly intends to take the bomb deep into the primordial memory zone, far away from everyone where the bomb can detonate harmlessly. Firefly grabs the bomb and flies off, but when the bomb explodes, fireworks go off instead. Sparkle then appears and knocks the Trailblazer off the ship, only to be caught by Firefly. The two share a moment. We move to Acheron's perspective in front of the graves of the Nameless in Dreamflux Reef. The Astral Express crew soon arrive and say goodbye to Gallagher, Micah, and the Nameless of Penacony. They also say goodbye to Acheron, who explains she is a self-annihilator cursed by the Nihility. Acheron's world was destroyed long ago and erased by IX, the Aeon of Nihility. Acheron seeks to sever the chain of Nihility and thinks the answer is in a place called the Dark Web. They head back to the Astral Express and tell Pom-Pom about Penacony's Nameless. Pom-Pom cries and they give him a minute. Welt then explains that ever since the Trailblazer joined the crew, they've been taking longer than planned at each stop. This is bad because the train is powered by the Trailblaze, meaning as long as the train keeps to its schedule, the Astral Express should have sufficient power. Unfortunately, with their delayed schedule, the Astral Express is running low on power. Just then, Black Swan shows up. Black Swan suggests traveling to a world even the Aeon Akavili has never been to, which could solve their power problems. This is a world many don't even know exists, a world hidden away, its presence only revealed by the light from the mirror of the Garden of Recollection. This is a world fettered by 3 paths. The Eternal Land Amphorius. We move to Jade's perspective, where she's speaking to a chained down Sunday. It seems Jade is here at the bequest of Robin. Jade offers Sunday a chance to still realize his dream to build a true haven where everyone can attain peace. However, this is a trade and Jade wants something in return. We move back to the Trailblazer on the Astral Express, who just received a message from Sparkle. It seems Silverwolf, another Stellaron hunter, paid Sparkle to create the bomb crisis. In doing so, Sparkle fulfilled Elio's prophecy of Firefly's 3rd death in the safest way possible. And that is the end of this mission in this video. If you've liked what you've seen here, please like, comment, and subscribe.